Peter Piper picked a pickled peppers.
No, picked a peck of pickled peppers.
A peck. I guess that makes sense.
Picked a peck.
Picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Yeah.
I feel like it was hard for me to say because I didn't even know what he was saying. Because picked a peck doesn't make sense, but it does. It's a unit of measurement. What is a peck? How much is a peck?
I don't know. Comment down below. How much is a peck? Hello, everyone. All that nonsense that we recorded for the last 9 minutes is probably not going to end up in here, but we'll probably start right about now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the pod. It's pretty silent. Sorry to our audio listeners. The audio is probably not great right now. And I don't know what this is going to sound like when I put my mic back in the stand, so I apologize for that as well. This is a mess. I can't even do this while I'm trying to talk, but Jack can't talk. He's making a pour over.
Can you guys hear me if it sounds like I'm in a distant room? You're probably being heard on your mic more than mine.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to keep holding it until you're done, and then you can entertain the people while I don't talk for a minute. Welcome, everybody.
We're all over the place.
Welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you.
Yeah, smiling faces.
Yeah, all those smiling faces.
I can. It almost looks like an eye. You know, the reflection.
Hi, Ben.
I see the pupil. Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
You shout out to our number one listener. Very quickly.
Well, I was talking to Ben Clark.
Oh.
Ben Clark might be our number one listener too.
He was listening to it at work.
He's always listening to it in the office instead of working.
Working hard or hardly working?
Yeah, working hard or hardly working. Ben, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. If your name is Ben, thanks for listening. Just in general.
How many Bens we got listening?
I don't know if that he does. Minimum of 2, max of 30. There's definitely not more than 30 Bens that listen. Am I right?
As of this recording, and we're not going to tell you when, we have 99 subscribers on YouTube. How many of those are named Ben, statistically? How likely?
If you're Ben number 31, leave a comment down below so that we know that there's.
And
more
also
than 30
comment
Bens.
down below how the heck you know that. I would love to know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on YouTube, Spotify Analytics, it'll tell you.
Not their names.
Well, I mean, it tells you, right, like the country they're from, gender, all of those kind of age demographics. And then it does tell you the percentage of Bens that listen.
I forgot about that statistic.
Yeah.
The percentage of Bens listened.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's an important statistic. Like, it really affects how you create your content, for sure.
It does. Yeah. I think about 30% of our listeners are Bens right now. So, I don't know. You can do that math. Jack, what are you brewing right now?
We are brewing honey processed Colombia Ponte from a little place called Mundos Coffee.
Where is that? I've never heard of that.
I don't know, man. But
Jack, isn't it pronounced Mundos because of the world in Spanish?
That's the big thing. We don't know. Comment down below, how do you pronounce it?
What do you mean we don't know?
We don't know. Is it Mundos? Is it Mundos? We may never know. It's pronounced Mundos. The company's named after your dad.
My dad's name is not Mundo.
What?
It's not. It's Jeremy.
And that's it. That's all you'll know. The rest is just kind of like a mystery. We don't know how it came to be Mundos. No. Nickname. That was your dad's nickname.
My name is Nick. What do you mean?
Whoa. Nick. Wait, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
Name?
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
Just watched that the other night.
I watched that for...
Emperor's...
I want to say it was not the first time, but the first time I remember anything of it because I watched it and I knew I've watched it before.
Yeah.
But I watched it and it was like I was watching it for the first time.
It's a good movie. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's good to have, like, I feel like we in like the early 2000s, we grew up with some killer movies. And I feel like we grew up with we grew up with some really strong storytelling movies.
Yeah.
But we also grew up, I feel like, with a lot of comedies that were fun when we were kids and are still funny.
Yeah.
Now that we're adults.
We had a lot of bangers, tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just appreciate that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, they still make bangers today, but I feel like they're like
when have they done
fewer
that?
and farther between.
Yeah.
Either they're like so serious that they're just not as enjoyable, or they're just so unserious that you're like, come on, I'm not a kid anymore. You know?
Yeah. Lava Chicken kind of vibes.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. All right, so Jack, we got the Columbia Ponte. We did a Kalita Wave 185.
No, old school.
Classic. I have a Stag brewer at home, and I use my Kalita way more.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm a big aesthetics guy. I like the way that the Kalita Wave looks. I feel like it's a classic, the stainless steel. I like that you can see what's going on a little more. As far as brewing, I feel like they're pretty comparable. But I do, a lot of the times, like you get a little more clarity out of the Kalita, just a tiny bit more most of the time. That being said, it's more prone to user error. So if you make it wrong, it's much more noticeable in the Kalita than it is the X brewer.
I mean, part of the genius of the X brewer is that narrow column.
Yeah.
Because it does take a lot of the honestly skill out of making a pour over in a good way. In a good way. Maybe skill is not the way to put it, but just like the challenges that you have to overcome to make a great pour over, it removes some of those obstacles. Not only by making your target smaller so that it's easier to wet all your coffee evenly, but
I just burned myself.
You burned yourself?
Yeah, I poured it on myself.
I was playing with a candle yesterday at a wedding, and I got wax all over me, and it hurt.
How did that happen? It just dripped on you?
Well, no. So it was dripping down, and it was getting ready to burn out. And so Fallon and I were breaking off pieces of the wax that had landed on the table and feeding the candle.
Wow, that's crazy.
We kind of just made it our job to keep the candle alive as long as possible, and it worked. It was successful.
Nice.
The
longest living candle. Did they burn out?
We left before all the candles burned out. But
okay.
Well, they were like the tall, like those cans you have over there, tall, but they were just burned all the way down, and so we were just filling it.
Wow, we just totally left our audio and video listeners in the dark by pointing to some candles off screen. They have no idea what we're talking about. What they're called, taper candles or whatever. I think so. I think that's their name.
Taper candles, just the classic kind, guys. Just
put the link in the description. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, buy them.
Yeah.
Promo code
equal parts.
What was we were talking about?
We were just kind of a roller coaster here.
We were talking about coffee.
Kalita Wave, the X brewer, the genius.
What was I saying though?
Something about how the skill, it takes the skill out of it, but it doesn't.
Yes. Which I think is great. So there's that, but there's also, I learned this from Lance Hedrick. I don't know if he's the original source. Most things.
What haven't you learned from Lance Hedrick?
Most things related to coffee. That the bed of your coffee does a lot of filtration. Whether it's espresso or filter coffee, the best filter is actually the bed of coffee. And so having a deeper bed offers more filtration. And so deeper espresso pucks tend to taste better than shallower ones.
You think more filtration is better?
Yes.
So it's more filtration for what? Less fines, less heaviness, or just flavor clarity?
Less fines. The more filtration that you have in a bed of coffee, the less you're actually going to have interacting with the filter. And so the less...
Excuse me.
You're excused. The less you have that will actually clog your filter, and you're going to have a higher drain speed. So if more of those particles are getting caught by the actual coffee and not clogging the filter, your drawdown time is going to be faster too. A deeper bed, narrower channel, it's smart. So, but I do like the Kalita. If I'm making if I'm okay, I want a thicker, rounder cup of coffee, I'm going to do a 1-15 on the Kalita.
Yeah.
If I want a brighter, vibrant, more nuanced coffee, I'm going to do a 1-16, probably on the V60. That's kind of what I go back and forth between.
I'm a flatbed brewer kind of guy.
Yeah.
I just now got not just now, but a little while ago, got a V60 for the first time in a while. I hadn't previously, and it's good. It's good.
But you've been enjoying it a lot.
I'm enjoying it, yeah, but I still prefer flatbed brewers most of the time. But that's what brewers are for. They're for different things, different applications. That's where the fun comes in.
Yeah, this is where the fun begins.
All right, I'm going to take a sip of this
Leave a comment
cup.
down below. What's that from?
Yeah, tell me. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. What'd you say?
I said this is where the fun begins.
You got to say it in character, because I can't.
This is where the fun begins.
That's it?
That's the best I got.
That's crazy. Comment down below Nick's how good Nick's impression was. I don't know who
I
would.
could probably do it a little more, but I don't want to. And also, it's not like. Okay.
We could cut it, but then it's kind of like a weird cut in the middle of the episode. So like,
Yeah.
we don't have to do it.
Yeah. Attack of the Clones.
What part of it? I don't understand.
Right near the beginning. I believe. Wait, am I crazy? Oh, guys. Am I
just
wrong?
your head canon?
Or is
You
it
just make that
is
up?
it the beginning of the Revenge of the Sith? Now I'm embarrassing myself.
I think it's the beginning of New Hope.
It's definitely not.
And
It's definitely not. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
Shout out. Star Wars.
Shout out Hayden Christensen.
Bros
Shout
are,
out
like,
Ewan
on a
McGregor.
run right
Shout
now.
out.
So, you know that Tatum has never seen Star Wars?
I do know that.
She's
Look-
got
Low-key
so
crazy.
So I like Star Wars, but I'm not like gotta watch Star Wars all the time. I think there's better movies out there. However, I do enjoy Star Wars, so some point we'll have to watch it
Yeah.
because I think they're good for at the very least their cultural importance. You know,
They are pretty culturally significant movies.
I mean, they
despite
really,
Disney's best efforts to absolutely ground them, they stand true.
Yeah, they changed a lot about filmmaking, especially when
Yeah.
they came out. You know,
Yeah, really did. Doing sci-fi fantasy,
yeah,
like kind of, I mean, set a lot of precedents for what sci-fi fantasy actually looks like.
Well,
Yeah. So
coffee.
what do you think about this coffee? Let's talk about this coffee for a second.
So yeah,
Columbia
this
Ponte.
is a Columbia Aponte honey process. We had this at Mundos a little while ago.
Like a year, about, yeah?
I don't think it was that. I think it was earlier this year. I think we had some. And
Okay.
we're talking to Ben Martin, and we were getting some more coffee, and they said they had more Aponte. We were going through it pretty quickly. So I just had them reserve us a bag of that because there was just one bag
Is
left.
this the same crop?
It's the same crop. So yeah.
Got it.
So a little more aged, but I don't think it was a year because I think
Yeah, no. If it's the same crop, it wasn't a year.
Or it was-
I assumed it wasn't the same crop. So
no, it's the same crop. If
Okay.
it was a different crop, we probably would have gotten more than one bag.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's good coffee. It's very tart and acidic for a honey process.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little uncommon.
Yeah.
A lot of the honey processes that I have are fuller, sweeter, richer. And this has a kind of a pink lemonade. It's one of our tasting notes for it, but brighter.
Yeah,
Pink lemonade, sourdough, and
The last one always evades me.
Is it on your canister?
Blackberry.
Blackberry. That makes sense.
Like the foam.
Classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great coffee. Yeah. Do we have any new coffees coming in anytime soon?
The only one that's in transit is the Ethiopia Goyo Hambella. It's part of a Highland collection. It's slated to arrive in September.
Okay.
That's the last I hear, but it's part of the single farmer project from Cafe Imports. So, excuse me. It's part of the single farmer projects from Ethiopia, similar to the Ethiopia Tedese Teko and the
Bekele
Bekele. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we want to take some time to talk today about really just like stress the importance of community when it comes to running a successful cafe.
Yeah.
Because as much as the quality of your coffee is important, it's not the only thing that's important.
Yeah.
And I think that somewhat recently, Cat and Cloud posted that clip from where I asked a question about.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Cat and Cloud. Shout out Chris Baca. They posted a clip from Expo, and it kind of just reminded me of that conversation and kind of Chris Baca's answer to the question about communicating higher coffee prices. And his answer really wasn't about communicating higher coffee prices. It was about community. So I feel like it's worth talking about.
Absolutely.
Because I think that it's easy for people to get so locked in and focused on one of those things and neglect the other.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you're not going to have as successful of a business. There are a lot of coffee shops out there. I mean, honestly, just like coffee in general kind of has a reputation for pretentiousness.
Absolutely.
Especially specialty coffee.
Yeah.
And that's, kind of sad.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost more important to be somebody who wants to foster community more than it is to have that taste for good coffee. As important as that is, like, you need a good product for people to come in and enjoy your space, but you also need to foster community and have a space where people want to come to. Because, yeah, you can have the best coffee in the world, but if it's a cold, harsh environment, no one's going to want to hang out there. And that's really
except
where you
other jerks.
Except other jerks. But do you really want to hang around?
Jerks hanging out together?
Exactly.
What?
And I feel like specialty coffee is more and more becoming more and more accessible, and there's more and more companies, especially if you're going to be starting a cafe and you're not going to be roasting your own coffee, companies who will work alongside you to help flesh out your coffee part of your business, like really the whole way through, supplying your coffee, supplying your equipment, educating coffee. So yes, you do need a love for coffee, but more importantly, you need a love for your community and for a space to build that.
Yeah. And I'll say, right, I think that you could have a successful business if you focus only on the community and your product is just all right. Right? I think that that's fair. You could say, yeah, the coffee's just fine, but the community's great, and you can I think that you could thrive as a business in that just because of the state of the general public's enjoyment of coffee. But yeah. I don't think that's what we're talking about here. I think that we're talking about being great at what you do.
Yeah.
And I think that if you want to be great at what you do, if you say, I want to be the best cafe in my city, in my state, right? Like you want to stand out and you want to be great. You have to do both well. You have to be great at fostering this community and get people behind you. You have to get people that are dedicated to your brand, not because of any superficial reason, but because they care about your business, because your business cares about them.
Yeah.
And you have to be great at roasting, sourcing, serving excellent coffee.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make a great, successful cafe. So I think that it's good to kind of audit your business in that way. Through those two lenses, right? And that's kind of, those are the two things that Mundos focuses on.
Yeah.
The two kind of slogans at Mundos are raise the bar.
Yep.
And coffee is community. Those are the two things that are kind of on everything and that kind of the mission statements of Mundos. Yeah. And those are both in the areas of quality, raise the bar, and community. Coffee's community.
Yeah. I think important thing with any business is pursuing excellence with whatever you do, because if you're not pursuing something and you're not striving to be better in all things, then you're going to fall short, really. So there's a lot of ways to do that. One of the most important ones is striving to be excellent in your interactions with your community, with having that space, your customer service, and then of course your coffee. All of those need you don't need to be perfect right out the gate with everything that you do, but as long as you're striving towards greatness is really important.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot that we could say about coffee, about how to actually source coffee well, how to roast coffee well, how to serve coffee well, right? There's a lot to that. And I don't think that's necessarily the point of what we're talking about right now. But that is important. I don't want to say this, how important community is and neglect that side of things, because
there's a balance.
There's a balance. And obviously as somebody who loves coffee, that's super important. If your people are really nice, I've been to plenty of cafes where I go in and everybody's really nice and their coffee's not good, and I'd never go back.
Yeah.
And it's not a personal thing. It's just, why am I spending my money on a product that's
you do
not
have to have a
worth it?
reason to spend so much money
Yeah.
on a coffee. Like, it's got to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we balance exceptional coffee with exceptional hospitality?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'd be curious, Jack, to hear what you have to say about that. You having read the book, is it Unreasonable Hospitality?
Unreasonable Hospitality. Yes.
You guys read that a little while ago now,
Yeah,
maybe over a year.
It was
at
back
this
in
point.
want to say October of 2024. So close to a year ago. And that was kind of like a book heavily recommended to us. And that did really start like a tremendous shift in the goal of Mundos as an entirely. Because when it first started out, when my dad had the dream of opening a coffee shop we're talking with your dad, and that's where the name came from, was that they didn't really enjoy coffee at that time, at least specialty coffee anyway. But they more so interested in that community aspect of it, of having a space to foster community, having a spot to hang out with your friends. Because I think my dad was telling me about how that was a thing down in Tennessee, was like, you go to a coffee shop where people were reading poetry or playing live music. It was a place you wanted to be, you know. It wasn't necessarily about the coffee. It was about the people. I think that's still the same today. As much as the industry has changed, it's still the same. It's more so about the people. But eventually my dad found a love for coffee and sought that out, started roasting coffee, and that's when I joined. And then from there, like, it was really pursuing excellent coffee and having a community space for people. But in the journey of pursuing excellent coffee, you can, like, not, by trying to serve the best coffee possible, it is possible to have a not perfect hospitality standard, you know, with trying to educate people on specialty coffee. It can be like, if people who don't understand or aren't at that level yet, it can come off as pretentious, and it can, like, affect your reputation and people's willingness to go to your cafe. So it is really important to have that exceptional hospitality. And that's another thing, is that, like, we love coffee. We love striving to have better and better coffee, serving better coffee. And that's a little more of a recent thing, to, like, also at the same time strive to have better and better hospitality, of finding ways to go above and beyond the typical cafe, of, like, how do we make somebody's day? How do we change somebody's life? Like, is that possible? Like, what can we do? How far can we go? You know, finding ways to, like, simple things like giving somebody's coffee free that day, or throwing a little something extra in their online order, or whatever it is. Give that personal touch that's much needed in today's atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, if you've worked in coffee, or even just an industry that is, say, more like culinarily focused and maybe a little bit more nuanced and you know, maybe an acquired taste, right? Like, you are going to deal with people on a daily basis that just don't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't get it, you know? They don't care about it the way that you do. They don't understand why you care about it.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with those people? Right? How do you actually make them feel welcome and loved and cared for in a way that they can actually eventually join you in that?
Yeah. Well, it's
right?
It's very much like what Chris Baca said about, like, having people get behind your brand, of having that space for community, being that, like, accepting and willing to just like help people learn in a way that's not condescending, and helping people get invested in your company, and not have that pretentiousness where, like, you have to have a certain knowledge to come into my cafe to order the right drink, because that's not what it's all about. And then people are more likely to get rallied around what you're doing, to be more supportive of you.
Yeah, I mean, because too, like, there are countless stories of people at Mundos who have started coming not knowing anything about
Yep.
coffee, not really knowing what they like, and they get something. They start with mochas, and then they get cappuccinos, and then they get cortados, you know, and there's a transition because that they trust you and they know that you care about them.
Yep.
They know that when they go in, they're going to be seen by people
Yeah.
that are happy to see them.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that, you know,
Mm.
and like if you can be that place where people can come just to be seen, like, you know, as a barista, you can tell, you know, like you can tell when there are people that come in just to be seen.
Yeah.
You know, it is a real thing, and that is the kind of space you want to be, you know, regardless of whatever your coffee is, however much you care about your coffee, you want to care about your people more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of caring for them is helping them learn and grow to enjoy better things.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like something that I always appreciated from my parents, not that I did at the time, but was them making me eat foods I didn't like. You know?
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. You know, when I was younger, it was like, okay, you have to try it still. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that your parents were the same way.
Yeah.
And that's the way I still am today, you know? And so I try things I don't like. And so I think that encouraging people, right? Like, you're not their parent. You're not your customer's parents. But I have had plenty of interactions where a customer has come in so often and there's, you know, small talk, moving to conversations about people's lives and
Absolutely.
getting to know them a little bit to the point where, you know, eventually it's like, hey, have you tried this thing ever? And you actually get to kind of show them new things, and they trust you. They know that you care about them, and they trust you enough to like let you pick out a new drink for them.
That's a big thing, is that trust is, you know, you can't right out the gate start recommending drinks to people because I mean, maybe some people are receptive to it, but a lot of times they're like, I don't know you don't know what I like, you know. So if you get time to learn people, for one, they'll keep coming back, and then you can kind of like know what they like and recommend drinks to them.
Yeah, and if you just were cold to them, unfriendly to them off the get-go, just because they didn't really know what they were doing and they didn't really get a drink that you thought was good, you know, and I mean, maybe you were offended by it. I've been offended by drinks that people have ordered.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's like, I care so much about this, and I'm making this matcha with a double shot in it, and it's one of the most like horrible things that have.
Yeah.
Like I need to like wash my hands of this.
I feel like we've talked a lot on previous episodes about like how like making jabs at like customers, guests, drink orders and stuff, because it's fun to talk about. But like really, like at the end of the day, it's, you know, you don't know where they are in their life, and we're gonna try to make a drink for them and do the best that we can to make sure it's something that they'll enjoy, whether that be maybe if they order something that's off the menu, to kind of give that with a recommendation or talk them through what they're going to be getting. But like, we really want to make them what they want.
Yeah.
That was before we took that stance to move towards that like unreasonable hospitality. We had a lot stricter guidelines when it comes to what we are going to make or not. Like, we had whole milk and oat milk. That was it, you know, or skim milk as well. Didn't have any other alternative milks. We had no alternative sugars. Very strict. And it was nice for the fact of simplicity. And that's what we were going for.
And they were the things that we thought were good.
Exactly.
And we still think that those are the best way to,
you know,
have it.
I would always say the whole milk tastes better in your drink than an alternative milk, whatever it may be. I still think that almond milk tastes like hot cardboard, but we offer it because of, we want to, like, what can we do to love people more? You know, it's not unreasonable for a cafe to have alternative milks, of course. But like anything like that to kind of break down those barriers of, you know, saying, no, absolutely, we will not serve an espresso over ice.
We used to not serve an espresso to go. Do you remember that?
We did.
No, I mean, of course you remember that. No espresso to go, no cortado to go.
And if we were coming from a standpoint of like, if it's not going to be enjoyed for here, it's not going to be enjoyed in the best way that it can be. So we felt like
so you're not going to enjoy it at all,
affecting the integrity of our brand and our drink. And that was not the right way to go about it, because
and I I agree, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's the way to drink it for
like
sure.
why are you getting an espresso in a paper cup? Like,
Yeah.
you could drink it
Yeah.
in 45 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to drink it in 45 seconds. You're just going to throw the paper cup away.
Yes.
But
that interaction of telling people that they cannot get it in a to-go cup was just not worth it.
actually, I'm better than you. So,
And you had people asking for paper cups to go with their espresso for no particular reason, and then they dump it. But it's like, I don't know why we felt like we had to fight so hard on that. We were coming from a standpoint of like having perfect coffee
because we care.
because we care. Yeah. And that of like, we also don't want to miss the mark of caring for people and loving people well.
Yeah. Well, and I think that because of us having such a firm, like rootedness in what we actually care about, I think that has kept us from becoming mediocre.
Yeah.
Just from slipping into mediocrity.
Hashtag
And so,
slipping into mediocrity.
yeah, seriously. Because every place that we've kind of given in or conceded, or maybe given in isn't the right word, but like we've every inch that we've conceded has been very, very thoughtfully done.
Yes.
And we're not quick to make that change. And so I think that, for all of those years where we didn't ever serve an espresso to go, I don't think that was necessarily the best thing to do. I think that we probably lost customers over it, but
sure, definitely.
that also, that attitude that we've carried forward has kept us serving great stuff and finding the places. It's like, okay, where can we give up some ground so that we can love people well while also giving them the best product we can. And I think that we're in a really great spot with that right now.
Yep.
But that's a hard thing to find. And that's something that every cafe has to find for themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to determine, right, like what's really important here.
Exactly.
What is ultimately going to make or break our business?
Yeah.
What's going to make or break our integrity?
I remember there was a lot of deliberation with like whether or not do we want to have alternative sugars? Do we want to be able to offer that to people? Of like, there was a lot of back and forth of like, this will destroy the integrity of our drink, and also, but like coming from a point of coming from like the human standpoint of loving other people is like, at the end of the day, yes, maybe the drink tastes better with raw sugar instead of stevia, but like, how much of a difference is there, and is it worth that negative confrontation you're gonna have of that? Like, it ended up being not worth it. So,
yeah, and that's something that through all of that Mundos has been so blessed with the community of people surround it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think that was really obvious during COVID.
Oh yeah.
I
that
think
was a time when COVID first started. It was like we had to let everyone go. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if people were going to come at all. We weren't allowed to have indoor dining, so we just kind of like it was just the family. My family at that point, and we were just making coffee, and then it just starting. People just kept coming consistently.
Picking up out the window.
Yeah, picking up out the window and slowly letting people come back in. And that was a crazy time, but it was a fun time.
But, I mean, during that time where other companies went out of business or suffered greatly, Mundos continued.
Yeah.
Because of the community. Not because you were getting the perfect experience.
Yeah.
Right? You weren't getting Frijir cortados during that
Exactly.
time. That was actually when that concession changed, where we actually changed to serving that stuff to go because we had to.
Because we had to.
And it never went back.
Yep.
But, like it wasn't because you were getting the peak espresso experience, because you were getting the peak. Not that it wasn't good still.
Yeah.
But, you had to get your food to go and your drinks to go. And it was because of the firm community that we had behind us that really made that difference.
Shout out TC community.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
Shout out Mundos fam. What do we call Mundos guests?
Mundos fanatics. Mundogs.
Shout out to our Mundogs.
Shout out Mundogs. You know who you are.
You're
the real ones.
Shout out to everybody that thought that our name was Mundog because of the old
the old logo.
The old paintbrush.
Comment down below if Mundos should bring it back. for like the 10th anniversary
It would be cool.
collection.
That would be cool. Bring out some retro logo.
Retro logo. Comment down below how many iterations of the Mundos logo we've had, like major iteration.
Can I say?
You can guess. Yeah.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you
What do
can say.
What do you mean? Guess or say?
Say whatever you want. Depends on whether or not you're right.
Well, I don't want to anymore because I feel like your number's gonna be different than mine.
Let me think. I want to make sure I'm right. I mean, I think I know. What do you say?
I feel like it was just like 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
The old paintbrush.
There was a paintbrush,
logo,
and then there was the typography, like
serif font with a globe
Yep.
logo, and the third one
Yep. That stuck around.
I stuck around. It's made some like soft changes here and there, but
Yeah. It works where you can change things around it. And
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little less of like its own aesthetic. It goes with other things.
Which is perfect.
Perfect.
Because you can change it.
Yeah, exactly.
It can morph.
Adapt.
Dun, 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 dun. Nice.
Shout out if you got that reference. Shout out Simon. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, that just shows the importance of that community. So I think that if you own any business, right, like that, but especially in coffee, right, it's good to audit your business in that perspective, right? Like audit your coffee side of things, right? Like how good are we doing?
Yeah.
How good are we doing at serving our coffee? How good are we doing at sourcing?
Yeah.
I honestly see a lot of places that are good at roasting, that are good at serving coffee, fall short because they're sourcing coffees that aren't that good. Boom. It happens. Like, it's a thing.
Say that again.
Honestly, I feel like I'm like, man, this coffee's roasted well and it was served well, but it's just not that good of a coffee. Right? And you can fall short in any of those areas. You can get a great coffee and you can ruin it at the roaster.
True.
But auditing those things and then auditing your hospitality, right? It's like you got to say, okay, how are we actually treating our loyal regulars in a way that makes them feel special, right? Like it's easy to have, at some point, to have people that have been coming for years and you don't really give them any special treatment. You don't really do anything to make them feel especially loved or seen for like the way that they've actually cared for you. Yeah. I think gratitude makes a big difference. I think that genuine gratitude and seeing like, wow, these people are the reason that I have food on my table. Yeah. It's easy to be kind of like, self-focused in that. It's like, oh, I worked really hard for this. But really it's like, yeah, you worked hard, but without your community that's supporting you, you wouldn't have any of it. And so I think genuine gratitude towards your customers,
absolutely.
The overflow of that is natural.
We've tended to refer to people who come in as guests rather than customers, because it's like it's more personable, and they really are. I mean, they're the only reason that you keep the lights on. Keep the doors open. Yeah.
Pay those property taxes.
Pay those property taxes. Pay those landlords. Pay those. Yeah. All those people.
Yeah. So your regulars, and then thinking about, right, those people that come in that just don't get it, right? They're just there for a cup of coffee. Like, how are they being treated and how are they being taken care of? Yeah. Right? How good are you at actually bringing people in to your community that aren't necessarily looking to be a part of it? Real. Right? They're just coming in. They've never stopped by, and they're just coming in to see what you have, and they don't know what to order. They're asking for like a caramel macchiato, right? How is your interaction with them making them feel valuable? Yeah. And still giving them something that they actually want. Yeah. Because that's crucial, right? If you're not able to bring people in, if you're not able to expand the reach of your community, then you're not going to grow. Yeah. And eventually, the money in your loyal customers is going to run out. Like that's the thing that you see with businesses. You see people, they have all these customers that love them, but they're not making any money. And like that's a thing, like places that are beloved, they're like not making that much money because they're not growing. Yeah. They're not moving forward.
I mean, everybody knows it, but having any business is hard work, because you always have to be looking for ways to expand, to grow, to expand into new territory. So
Yeah.
But it can be fun if you got the right crew.
Mhm.
So you got the right mindset. You got the right, like, mission behind it of why are you doing this? You know, if you're doing it purely for the money, then like you're not gonna end up caring about people, and then it's gonna show. You know, but if you really care about people, obviously you have to make money to live. But like, you really care about people, it is going to show.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yep. And I think that finding ways to reach beyond your walls is important too. I think that's something that we have learned in the last year, especially.
Absolutely.
And have sought out actively. Because you know, you're only going to get the people that come through your doors, even if you've got 100% retention rate, right? Like
that's
everybody
crazy.
that comes into our doors loves us and is coming back.
No
right?
shot.
That's even though that's unrealistic. Even if you have that, that's still right. Like there are so many people that are never going to step foot in your cafe.
Yeah.
That would love your cafe, right? That would be a great like addition to your community. That would be people that would be loyal customers and would like people that you want to be a part of your community. Like, why would you not want that to grow? So I think finding ways, right? Like for Mundos, one thing has been the farmers market.
Absolutely.
Been present there.
Yeah.
And
it's important to, you know, meet your community where it's at. Otherwise, you know, like you can come off as not uncaring or disconnected from the community. I just recently found that there was something on Reddit about Mundos, and then somebody thought that, or claimed that we had been purchased by venture capitalists, and that we were no longer owned by a family and have changed somehow. And I was like, that like really got to me, because I was like, for one, people are just making up stuff. People make up stuff all the time, you know, or you know, it's just a big game telephone like of misrepresenting what people are saying. But it is important to go out into the community, because yes, within your cafe walls, you're not getting everyone. You're only getting the select few who want to be there. There's a lot of people who may not ever think to come to a coffee shop. So you're gonna be a part of your community in more ways than just, you know, having that cafe space. So yeah, farmers market, being a part of that community has been great, and expanding, doing more, doing the art fair. Middle of I think it's like September 14th, 15th.
Okay.
So that'll be sweet. So yeah, we're always looking for ways to do that, because it is important, you know.
Yeah, didn't know you sold out.
Sold out.
Venture capitalists.
I know. Had to make a quick buck.
Guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
It's funny. Did you like respond to that at all?
No.
No.
It was. I mean, he's like, when I saw it was like posted a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
A couple years is crazy.
Yeah. Also, shout out Zoran for defending us in the Reddit, by the way.
Oh, you found him?
I found him. Well, no, he wasn't defending us. Somebody was talking about how I saw that. I don't know how I stumbled across it. I think maybe somebody showed it to me, just that somebody had something about Mundos on Reddit. So I was like searching up what people said about us there, because I didn't even know people were talking about us there. So a lot of good things. A lot of people like, you know, where do I find Chemex filters in Traverse City? And people talking about us. And I think Zorn had responded to somebody asking about Mundos with like some sort
Zoran's
of news
out there
article.
like clacking on his computer on Reddit. Yeah.
Bros, yeah, lifesaver. So.
Huh, that's funny. But yeah, I think that's important to have that balance between the quality of your product and the
quality of your heart.
Yeah, the health of your community.
Mm-hmm.
Both are very important.
Yeah.
And if you want to be great, it's finding where those two things align.
Where do they intersect?
And
Coffee and community.
Yep.
Coffee is community. That's the thing.
That's the thing about it, guys. So.
Fantastic Four reference.
Actually, haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty good. I recommend.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about that and Superman.
Yeah, I haven't seen Superman either.
Yeah.
I'll probably get to watch it when the price of renting it on Amazon goes down. It's like $25 to rent. I'm not paying that.
Dang.
I think it's like as soon as it comes out, it's available for purchase at first, typically.
It should not.
And then it goes down to like $3 eventually.
Movies should not be on streaming services right away like that.
Well, it
kills the
wasn't.
box office.
It wasn't.
Oh, well,
It
how
just-
long though?
I think it was like
it's
a
only
couple
a few-
days ago. So
But that's like, how long?
I think
that's
that's
not even that
typical.
long.
I think it's like it came out a couple months ago. So,
Really?
yeah,
Already?
I think it's typically like 60 days after box office release.
Yeah, okay.
Because, yeah, I think like how that typically works is when a movie first gets released, the production company makes a ton of money from ticket sales, but then slowly after that, the percentage of revenue for the actual theater goes up. So that the longer it is after release, the less the production company makes per ticket, or something like that. I
Got it.
read. Shout out if I'm wrong. Read it wrong. I don't know anything about anything.
Well,
Besides coffee.
yeah. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully that's valuable. Or
Yeah.
if you own a business, I hope that it kind of gets your gears turning, or at least makes you like think about those things a little bit more deeply, or maybe just reminds you to think about them.
Yeah,
because they're really valuable.
That's really what it takes is to like just to start thinking about something, and that's what it was with reading that book. I do recommend that as well. I could probably throw a link below to that book to order on Amazon or something like that. But it's a really good book, really for anybody to read. Unreasonable Hospitality by some author. I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his
William
name.
or something. Will. You know who you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good book.
All right. Well,
It's a good episode.
yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it?
Comment, smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode.
Mm.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. It's been real.
Yeah, we will
See you on the flip flop
see you on the
beach. No.
see you on the beach, guys.
Yeah.
Guys,
Shout out Equal Parts Beach Party.
Equal Parts Beach Party that coming this December.
Heck
Peace.
yeah. Cut.